7 days with Lisa Hayes. With the price she pays, you'll be amazed. She's a national.
The ultimate guide to stop house repossession. What is house repossession and how can I avoid it? Before we go any further, we think it's important to clear up exactly what repossession is. There are many common misconceptions surrounding the term, but we're going to try and clear that up for you today. Very simply, the definition of repossession is the act of your mortgage lender secure a court order that allows them to take over possession of your home. Although taking out a mortgage is known as making you a homeowner, an important thing to remember is that the lender who you take the mortgage out with also owns a stake in your home. This means you're effectively in debt from the moment you take out your mortgage, and every month your mortgage payments are repaying this. Missing repayments actually tends to be where the very early stages of potential repossession come about. If you continue to miss mortgage payments without action, then your lender is well within their rights to take back full ownership of your property. Following this, they'll sell it on in order to make up the money that you owe. However, this process can't usually take place without some sort of court action taking place. Sometimes, it even becomes the case that bailiffs are sent to the property in order to evict you. This is usually in the latter stages, and is considered as a complete last resort. Your mortgage lender will usually act upon the repossession order after 3 or 4 missed payments. By law, lenders actually have to consider any suggestions or ideas you have to help you pay the money. Likewise, they're always likely to try and compromise on some sort of payment plan with you. It is worth noting, however, that if you're considered as a high-risk borrower, which is usually when somebody has a poor credit score, then your lender is more likely to start taking steps towards repossession after 2 payments. It's also worth remembering that it's not actually within a lender's best interest to repossess you. They'd far rather be able to work out a payment plan with you, and go forwards without having to get the courts involved. The good news is, if you had a repossession order, it's not always definite. There are ways that you can actually avoid repossession altogether, but you have to be willing to work at it. We are going to be outlining the repossession process in full, including information on how you can prevent, prolong, and even stop repossession in its tracks. The 6 stages of house repossession. Stage 1, missed payments. The first time you miss a mortgage payment, you're going to be contacted by your lender fairly quickly. They're likely to send you a letter regarding the arrears you currently owe, which at this stage is presumably 1 payment. Now, it's important to be contactable and communicative with your lender at this point. It really could be the difference between repossession going forwards and coming to a compromise. Therefore, you should try and negotiate with your lender. If you explain your circumstances to them, they're more likely to be helpful and understanding. If you can manage to set a repayment plan you can both agree to, and you stick to it, then the issue really shouldn't go any further. However, it is a possibility that your lender will reject your proposed payment plan. If this is the case, you'll then receive a second warning concerning your arrears. This is likely to include information about a court hearing. Stage 2, the court order. The first step in doing this will require the lender to apply for a court order to repossess your property. In their application, they'll have to state in detail the reasons why the judge should grant the lender repossession of your house. In alternate circumstances where your lender isn't claiming rent arrears, they might choose to actually apply for an accelerated repossession order. This is slightly more expensive for them, costing around £355. If the court order is approved, a hearing will follow. Stage 3, the court hearing. Following a court order being approved by the court, you can expect to receive information about a hearing. It's likely that the court will write to you, informing you of the date you will be expected to turn up to and appear in court. Your case will be deliberated in court, so your attendance is of the utmost importance. Attending court gives you the opportunity to make your own case. You can explain the reasons for the missed payments to your lender and the judge, and even present the options you have suggested to your lender previously about payment plans and so on. After all participants have laid their cases on the table, the judge will evaluate all of the evidence that they have been presented with. Bearing this in mind, it's crucial that you have written evidence of your willingness and suggestions regarding creating a payment plan that works for both you and your lender. This way, the judge can see that at the very least, you've tried to cooperate. After this, the judge will make a decision whether or not to grant the repossession order. Stage 4, the possession order. When the judge has decided on the action that will be taken, one of two things will happen. It is a possibility that the judge could actually rule in your favor. If this is the case, then you have to sign to a repayment agreement, which, if broken, will result in eventual eviction. On the other side of the fence, the judge could rule in favor of your lender and grant the repossession order. If this is the case, then the usual procedure is that you're then given at least 28 days in order to move out of your home. In certain cases, however, you could be given up to 56 days. As well as this, you'll also be expected to pay costs to the court. This is usually added to your outstanding debt bill by the lender. Stage 5 of property repossession, the possession order. As we mentioned above, you will be given an allocated time frame, usually 28 or 56 days, in order to leave your home. We would strongly suggest complying to the rules of this. It can become very unpleasant otherwise. If you fail to leave your property in the allocated time following a possession order, then it's likely that bailiffs will be sent to remove you from the property. This will happen following the lender applying to the court for a bailiff order, which grants them the right to remove you from your home by force. Should it get to this stage, you'll receive a letter including the time and date which this will occur. Burying your head in the sand and pretending repossession is not happening simply isn't an option. Stage 6 of property repossession, the possession order. Following your eviction from the property, the lender is likely to want to have it back on the market as soon as possible. The reason they want to sell quickly is in order to recover the debt that has been left behind. It's actually better for you if they sell quickly too, because until the property is sold on, you're liable to pay the interest on what you owe. Once the sale goes through and completes, the lender will keep all of the money that they are owed out of the sum. If there is anything left over, then this will be paid to you. If, however, the sale of the property does not make up all of the money that you owe, it's a possibility that you'll be asked to pay the shortfall of the mortgage to your lender. That's very basically the process of repossession, from start to finish. Of course, all individual cases are likely to be different, but that's the general play of things. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to check out the blog post version for a lot more information.
If you're trying to sell but it's not going well, if you can't get a sale and the estate agent fell, now is the time for you to jump and praise. 7 days with Lisa Hayes, with the price she pays, you'll be amazed. She's a national cash buyer, and she'll pay you much higher today.